What up, what up, what up, everybody? What up, world? Welcome to the episode 24 of the Fanatic Sports Podcast. I'm your man, Blocker, aka Lil Horse. I got my man Blue with me, the Throwback King, man. Happy to have you here with me
What
tonight, bro.
up? What up, though? What up, though?
I'm gonna I'm gonna try to get through this thing without too many tears, bro.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's a I don't want to call it a dedication. I don't know if that's the right word, but for those that's been missing us, I can say, man, I've been in and out of town and working with my dad. Um, and he got sick, and now it's looking like the end. So we still gonna talk a little sports, and we still gonna have a little shenanigans. But I wanted to throw a shout out to my dad, man. Um, my father, he was my everything, man. He was my everything. So and you want to know what's interesting? So for those of y'all that don't know, my father is Horace Mitchell, um, one of the smartest men I've ever met, and one of the coolest, nicest people. Um, if you met him, you can see where I get all mine from. From everything from acting a fool or cutting up, and to the little smarts I like to flaunt off and everything. Man, my daddy was kind of the base of that. Uh, what's interesting was he wasn't really a big sports fan. Um, well, not in your traditional sports. Uh, but tell you what, man, he uh he and my mom, I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that, I played football, as a lot of y'all know. And, he and my mom didn't miss a game, not one. On the road, uh, home games, of course, from my freshman year of high school all the way to my freshman year of college, man. Like even they first game they missed in my career, I think it was when Washita played in um Valdosta, Georgia. So that was the first game that they
Hmm.
actually, or maybe West Alabama, something like that. Those are the two teams that we played outside the state that my parents didn't go see. The rest of them, like the other 8 games that season, man, they were at every home game, every even all the in-state away games. My parents were there, and I was a redshirt my freshman year, so like it was dope, and just as a parent now and parent of an athlete now, and I understand what it was like to go through all that, man. That's a big thing, bro. That's a big thing for them not to miss. Um,
Yeah, like when you said all your high school games, like and you were the
yeah,
varsity, so technically
yeah,
y'all didn't have a home stadium,
you're right. Yeah, so we
But y'all
was
played both.
we played what?
Y'all
See,
majority of your
most of
home
our
games.
wins was at like Scott Field, and so
Oh wow.
they didn't miss, man. They didn't miss. Basketball, and I didn't really play a lot of basketball, especially once I got to high school. But they was at every JV game, all of that, man. Like it really was. As like I said, as I look back now, man, it really means something, bro. It really means something.
Hmm.
So just
Didn't
thought
I
I
tell
would
you
throw it.
Scottfield got turf now?
Yeah, somebody, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. So look, man. So my junior year, in case anybody's wondering, like if you want to understand the recruiting process, your junior year is when you get all the like that, like so your junior year is when you're gonna get all the scholarship offers. That's when you're gonna go to all the camps. Like your junior year is the most important year in your athletic career. It sets up everything else you're doing. If you were undersized, if you're not, so your 11th grade year, like that's it, man. So my 11th grade year, I was a starting left tackle, bro. I don't know why. Shout out Coach McGee, man. Speaking of this show being about father figures and so forth, bless you. Like he was a guy for me that was sort of like a father figure in the sense of what I did with sports. But he put me out there, man, on Scott Field on JV for no reason. I don't know why I was out there, but I was out there trying to get better. And so I stepped in one dadgum potholes at Sky Field, and I rolled my ankle and I tore a ligament and I had a high ankle sprain. So for my whole junior year, I missed like 5 games in my junior year because of how bad Scott Field was, just to be real. And man, I would have loved to, kind of got back into it, but my junior season, but I rushed back trying to hurry up and get back in, made it worse, and had to sit out. I think I played the last game of my junior year, and then I had a good camp the summer after my junior year, but yeah, man, I kind of messed all that up. Not that Parkview wasn't very good. Not like they're certainly not as good as they are now. And they definitely are not as but we weren't very good during my high school years. And so it wasn't like I had a lot of options and I had a lot to learn about the game, but yeah, man, this was definitely I know I didn't help my cause with with rolling my ankle during my junior year. I actually came out and had a really great senior season, but my junior year was something, man, and it could have been a lot better. But it's good you said that. So look, man, I appreciate you, kind of settling me down, man. So I wanted to talk first, kind of just about like some of the sports. So one thing I'll tell you, we'll start here, man. So my dad, he was a motorsports head. Loved NASCAR. He loved NHRA. Is that it? National High Rod Association. Yeah. All right. I want to make sure I didn't say NRA. Wrong. But yeah. So but yeah, I man, he loved motorsports, and he got me into loving motorsports as well. And so we talk a lot about a lot of different sports and being well rounded in our sports on the pod. But man, and a lot of that's due to my dad. Man, he loved the drag racing and racing. But he said when he was growing up, like he never really got in sports. He could swim a little bit. And he grew up in the country town down in the big city that he grew up in was Stuttgart, Arkansas. Blue, you know where Sugartown at, bro. You heard me? So
from here to here in a few hours.
shout out to old Sugartown. Matter of fact, shout out Arkansas Boat while we at it, the representative for Sugartown. Maybe the most famous thing. Well, him and who was the running back came from that? The running back came from Clarendon. That went to
Cedric Houston.
Yeah, say it from Clarendon.
I'm so disappointed in you. I'm so disappointed in you. The blasphemy that you're going. What you can't even shout out your own frat brother, Hubert Lattermilk.
He from Stuttgart? I didn't know that. All right. Yep. Look, bro. Look, Sugartown got a lot of players down there, bro. You know what I'm saying? And some of them even got on the field. But yeah, man, my dad is actually from Clarendon and he didn't finish high school, man. So like, and this the crazy thing about it, man. I'll show y'all. I don't too much get into my family, but I do want to, shout. Like I said, man, I got to shout out Pops, man. Love that man. glad he's still with us for a little while. He took a tough turn, but glad to have him with us. I'm gonna give him his flowers while he's alive, like the church say, while he can smell them. But my mom and dad gave birth to a star, and then also my brother and sister. And I know how lucky they feel to have me as a brother and sister. So I definitely want to shout them out too, man. And one of the things I love most about my dad was that he was a loving husband. And so you rarely would find him without my mama. So I better go ahead. First of all, just to be real, I only had that one picture with my dad by himself. Most of the pictures was always gonna be with him and his mom and my mom, man. He loved my mama, man. He loved my mama. He take care of my mama. Even in his old age, even now, he's still blessing my mama, man. So definitely shout out to them. But he said one of the things he told me, because I always asked him, I said, Dad, you ain't never played no sports, man. You ain't never care about none of that stuff. And so, being from the country, man, he was the youngest. He was literally the youngest. So he had a twin brother. He has a twin brother. Shout out Uncle Morris and my favorite cousin Cam. He and my cousin Brian, that's his twin brother's family. But he said, man, I
Is that
played
a rule?
baseball a little bit.
Is that a rule? Like if you have twins, your names got to rhyme.
I think so, man. Yeah. So now I think about it, I got an LB who's got twins named Tristan and Christian. So then I got another LB who's got twins, and it's a boy and girl, and it's Hugh and Hattie. So not necessarily
You and
right
that?
there. Hugh, this boy and
Oh,
girl. Yeah, so Hugh and Hattie,
he
HUG.
would got some Negro spiritual names.
He got a good he got a good resume name. I guarantee you, Hugh Huntley. Trust me, that's gonna be it. Hey man, that's got he might as well go ahead. Hey H, when you see this, bro, you might as well go ahead and put CEO behind it. Hugh Huntley, CEO. I don't know exactly what he's gonna be chairman of, but I guarantee
They
you
do
it's gonna
flow. They flow.
no
That flows well.
Hugh Huntley, CEO. Pleasure to meet
Yeah,
you. Like,
yeah.
what are you applying for?
I
Hugh
mean,
Huntley,
I got
CEO.
I went to elementary school with these twins. It was a boy and a girl. Their both name was Aaron, but they spelled it different. They spelled the boy name A-R.
AARONERION.
Yeah, yeah. They both name was Aaron.
Well, here's the problem with that. How do I differentiate who I need to yell for to go get my glass of Kool-Aid?
I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy.
Get up and go
But
get my
it
Kool-Aid.
wasn't it wasn't one of us though. So those were,
Oh,
those were
okay.
the
So,
other side.
well, see, okay. So, all right. Now that actually, so I'm plot twist. That make it a little bit harder for me because I think it like, what I'm saying? So like I got one of my Louisiana best friend, Trail. He got twins. And so it is excuse me. So it's Kentrell Jr. and it's Kentrell Jr. and it's and Chloe. And so they both spell with K's. Um so but of course,
Let me
so like
guess
he
his
call
right.
us, huh? No, he not.
Let me guess his Captain.
He not. He just his mama named him Kentrell. So naturally his first son was gonna be Junior. And so that's what they call him. They call him Junior. They call the boy Junior, of course, and then Chloe is Chloe. So I don't know, man. I what I'm saying, like I was gonna say, like if it's Aaron and Aaron, then like how we give a kid a nickname. Like for instance, so my daddy and my Uncle Morris, so they're not fraternal. They do look alike, but they're not fraternal. So Uncle Morris was bigger. Like even now at 89, Uncle Morris is probably like 6'1", 6'1", and probably like 200 pounds. And dad was like 5'9", 5'10", and like I can't remember him being over 200 pounds, like ever. Like he wasn't a big man. All my size came from my mama and them. My mama's daddy was the shortest of three boys at 6'4". So so yeah. We're gonna that's what look. Eventually, when you get ready, bro, we're gonna have this high school athletes interview show. And your first 5 guests gonna probably be like, well, 2 of them gonna be Jordan Harris, 6'9", forward and defensive end, and Jalen Harris, 6'6", offensive tackle, from Maumelle High. And so but they big, bro. Whole family huge. But anyway, so my daddy was never that big, and so my uncle, his twin, they called him Big Boy, and so then they called my daddy Little Boy. Or like for instance, they had another set of nicknames. So like my Uncle Morris was Nick. I don't know where they got that from. And then my daddy, they called him Dick. I have no clue where. Look, it was 1935. It was a different time in life. Don't get me started. but yeah, man. So you know what I'm saying? Like the twin thing makes sense. So if you tell me Aaron and Aaron, I'm gonna say that, like maybe we got a nickname for the boy, like Nuck Nuck or Pojo or something. You know what I'm saying? And little stomach ache for the. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a nickname for them. But if you tell me, they of the fairer complexion, then I guess maybe, I'm sure they found a very creative way to get them separated. So, it worked out, I'm sure. But yeah, man. So look, let's get into a little bit of sports. And we're gonna start with the sport my daddy played when he was a kid, baseball. Now, I know you a Mets fan. I know y'all got some big players. So I know y'all got some big names that's off to a hot start from everything I've seen. I haven't followed very closely yet. Yeah, man. Look, listen, y'all got a little squad over there down there in Queens. Talk a little bit about have you started following since the spring training? Have you started following anything with the Mets thus far in baseball?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not started following anything with the Mets just yet. Still on my basketball mode.
Well, what for?
Why I'm on my basketball mode?
What could y'all be doing that's so good in basketball?
Kawhi Leonard plays one game and beats the Cavaliers, and you feel like
what do we do?
Y'all won, but like you decided to play.
Yeah, now, all right.
Come on, man.
Hey, bro, look, I'm gonna be real with you. When it comes to the Clippers, I'm just not. Listen, we won. Shout out. I was hoping Ant would come on first of all, so we could talk about the fact that he said that the Clippers ain't gonna win 40 games this season. That's crazy all the time. But past that, I said that we would win 45 games. I felt pretty good about us winning 45 games this season. But man, look, we're gonna take a 7th seed. We might even win the first round playoff series, depending on who it is we face, like the Lakers or somebody sorry like that. And then you didn't get my joke.
Kawhi Leonard, yeah, I got it. It just wasn't funny. Kawhi Leonard is what's old boy name from Longest Yard? When you booked him, my nose.
Yeah, look, man. I'll say this. I'll say that I think that we're obviously going to be in a better place because they're showing us, like, he wouldn't be playing if we weren't good. Let me start there. Shout out my man Benjamin Rodriguez. We look forward to having you on soon, man. We're going to lock in, bro. So Instagram has been really, really dope with some of the growth and stuff we got going, man. So while we at it, man, everybody please go follow the Fanatic Sports Talk Pod on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat. They've
And
got very
MySpace.
popular.
I know some
Yeah, definitely. Wait till you hear the music on MySpace. But yeah,
man.
man, but yeah, dude, look, talking Clippers, man.
Amazing.
I say we're gonna win a game or two. We're gonna win a game or two, but you can't get yourself excited. This team, even with like you know what would be crazy, like if everything went like to like the max, right? So you get James Harden back in his rare MVP form. You get, pre-anxiety Ben Simmons. You get pre-knee injury Kawhi Leonard. Like, and you got Norm Powell giving you 25. And for whatever reason, big, 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 what's the center name? God, I almost called him Il Gauskas. That's who he remind me of, bro. It's the same person to me. But Ivica Zubac, big Zubac give you if he been giving out 20 and 10, 20 and 12 and 20 and 15 type games, bro. What kind of like I ain't never seen this kind of offensive output from him before. But if with all five of those players playing at their max potential, which I believe that I think we could be dangerous, but I still don't feel like we're gonna touch Oklahoma City in the ass with a telephone wire. That's a horseism, by the way, right? My daddy said you couldn't touch him in the butt with a telephone wire, but I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Like I think we could be good. And look, if the chips fail a specific way, and it would take a lot of chips falling in very specific places, but I just don't see it, to be honest with you, man. So I don't have any hope for this Clippers team, not this year, and probably not for like 3 or 4 years. I think we'll be in the same spot for the next like 3 years until we get our first round picks back from Oklahoma City.
Haven't had any hope for the Clippers since they were the Buffalo Braves. When they had Bob McAdoo, the greatest Clipper ever, Bob McAdoo.
Hey, he's not better than Michael Aloakandi. Calm down.
He was our only MVP.
That's fair. I
How
give you
dare
that.
how dare you do Bob McAdoo like that?
Well, what about so? Do we count? Let's see, because we were the Royals in Kansas
No,
City.
he started as the Buffalo. No, he started the Buffalo Braves.
Okay, was that not so? That when we were in the Midwest, wasn't Oscar Robertson there with us in the Midwest? If I'm not mistaken, I gotta look that up.
Those are the Kings you're talking about,
man. The Kings. Oh, my fault. Yep. I knew it was a California team. You're right.
One of those scrub California teams.
Yeah, like the Lakers.
We ain't never been no scrubs, man. Don't do us. We got Luka.
So all right. So let's talk about this for just a little bit.
My name is Luka. I live on the second floor.
So I wanted to look this up, right? And so I'm gonna post this picture. I need you to tell me a little bit about your thoughts on the Luka trade and what he's gonna mean for your future as a Lakers fan going forward.
Not as blasphemous as not as big of a robbery as the Pau Gasol Kwame Brown. Not as big, but the impact would be pretty much the same, I believe.
You're saying that you don't think that Kwame Brown for Pau Gasol was as big a robbery as you're saying Kwame Brown is still That's still a bigger robbery
That
than.
was robbery. It's two
Um.
trades that I feel like it was two trades in sports that I feel like was robbery without a gun.
Hmm.
Herschel Walker
Okay.
to Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings,
From the
and
Minnesota Vikings.
no, Herschel Walker
Oh,
to the Minnesota Vikings from the Cowboys,
okay. Okay.
and Kwame Brown for Pal Gasol.
And so
That's
then
robbery without a gun.
you would put Luca right underneath that, or where would you
I'll
place
put
him in
that
that?
that there'll be a second tier robbery.
Okay.
Like you have to have that ski mask and like a 25 on it for that one.
It's scam.
Yeah,
Okay, so look, actually, you got my wheel turning a little bit. I'm thinking about, um, I'm thinking about this. So you know the summer is coming, right? The dog days of summer in sports. Now, I love the dog days of summer. I love the off seasons. I love watching teams, build. I love the hope going into the preseason that this is our time. That sort of thing means a lot to me. But most people find it pretty boring. The summer, it's just baseball. There may be a little golf. There's not a lot of, it's not a lot of content to kind of talk about. Certainly not a lot of clickbait type things that are gonna, drum a lot of high energy from the casual fan, if you will. So I've been thinking up different topics just for us to create content over during that time of year from June till August till football season. And so this is going to be one of my topics is like, baffling off-season moves or baffling trades or what have you. She made it. Hi, Mama.
Hello.
This is
hey, Mrs.
Blue.
Mitchell.
All right.
Good evening.
Yeah. So, Mom, you got good time, and we were talking. So, ironically enough, so everyone, this is Antoinette Mitchell, my mama. If you saw her on Snap the other day, she said, "Aren't I pretty?" And I agree. Um, now, spreading this family thing out a little bit, Blue. Now, the woman who got me into sports the way I love sports is my mom's mother, Isa Rain Parker. And guess which team she was the best fan of? Ma, you want to tell them?
Los Angeles baseball and anything. Los Angeles, the what is it? The basketball.
The
Los
The
Angeles
Lakers.
not the best team in
Lakers,
LA, the other one.
and she would always put on my letters. She would put the Lakers will come back again. Every time she sent me that letter.
so look, bro, and I got a ton. I got a ton of like memorabilia. I got Lakers memorabilia collecting dust, and I refuse. Well, I may hang it up because, like I said, man, my grandmother was such a huge sports fan, and of course, you know how great a sports city LA is on the cool, and so,
Mhm.
man, there was a ton of it, and so she would send me like different things. So like she sent me a Derek Fisher picture that he had signed, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
she did.
a lot of stuff like so my grandmother was in the height of the 90s. And so her biggest wish was to always get Michael Jordan to the Lakers. It didn't happen, it didn't come through. But man, like that, it was really, really cool just to share that kind of love.
We didn't get MJ, but we didn't get MJ, but we had the second coming.
Yeah, you got MJ 2.0. And she was a big Kobe fan too. As a matter of fact, she had sent me like this thing, the newspaper clipping when Shaq and Kobe had won. I think he was ring number 2 or something like that. So really, really cool, man. Love the so one of the cool things, like I told you, man, my mom's dad was the shortest of 3 boys, the 6'4". So naturally, athleticism flowed all through our family, except for me and Andre. And so we were kind of quick, but the rest of the family like ran track, and Uncle Rat did basketball. He was 6'7". Uncle Johnny was 6'6". He did basketball. Even so I was telling you about the boys, Jordan and Jalen. Their mother, Melena, also did. Let's see, Melena ran track. I think she might have did basketball or something. I know she ran track for sure. But we're a sports family, bro. And so to that point, man, and we kind of get back on. I'll get back on topic right quick for just a minute, man, and talk a little bit about this is a dedication to my father, and so it's a shout out to him, and we're just gonna talk a little bit more about the sports that he loved the most. Blue. So tell me, Blue, do you follow NASCAR? Do you follow NASCAR?
Yes, he loves that. You're talking to your buddy over there. Yeah, I was just looking at a video before I came here.
Yeah.
I was in Walmart. I had to stop and watch it.
Good. So look, so I'm gonna tell you, Blue, about my favorite NASCAR personality, which was also my dad's, man. His name was Mark Martin.
Mark Martin.
Familiar with him.
Yeah.
I didn't have the space to put him on, but Mark Martin is a big fan of Gucci Mane.
Really?
Yeah. So you remember pre-prison Gucci wore a lot of like the NASCAR jackets were really big. And so with the NASCAR jackets being so big, he used to wear a lot of the Mark Martin ones, the Valvoline one. That one was super popular. That one, Jeff Gordon, of course, Dale Earnhardt. Yeah. A lot of those were very, very popular. And so I think that was kind of initially what set up the love, Mark Martin just appreciating Gucci Mane. And then he would listen to his music apparently, bro. Like he's a fan for sure. And so but we were big Mark Martin, mainly because we like Mark Martin because he was from Arkansas.
Yes, he was.
Now my daddy liked Mark Martin the most because he drove a Ford. Right? If you drive a Ford, my daddy fool with you, bro. But I fool with Mark Martin because he's from Arkansas. Blue, you know me, man. You know how much I love Arkansas, bro. But for those who don't know about Mark Martin, Mark Martin was a 2017 NASCAR Hall of Fame. He's 7th all-time in NASCAR wins with total. He had like 88 or something like that. A lot of wins. He had 44, wins in the main NASCAR, the car you're seeing on screen. And he was known for that Valvoline number 6. Now, obviously, like in NASCAR, you change like one of the things I love about NASCAR is their advertising and how much you make off. You can work with a lot of different things from like you see like where that Valvoline V is now. A lot of times they won't have the same logos there anymore. But there's so much advertising that comes from that you can do with your car, and where they put logos. All of that stuff is big money, bro. Huge money. Like you see in this Winn-Dixie car down here, the Winn-Dixie 60. Like he got, you see that line of different stickers, things like that. Man, and NASCAR is huge. It's huge. And so love NASCAR, man. We actually went to a NASCAR event when they first opened the racetrack down in Denton, Texas, down in Dallas. Then it was actually really cool. Yeah, man. Had a great time down there. Looking forward to the opportunity to visit some tracks and go to some stuff soon. I know there, I don't know if you caught us when Freezy Sports was on a few weeks back. We talked about going to St. Louis for a trip, or either Chicago, just a couple of different spots, man. NASCAR obviously is worldwide these days, and they have a whole season now, And so my favorite racer now, who actually drives a Toyota, so Dad, forgive me. I follow some of the Fords too, but I really fool with I really follow closely Bubba Wallace. He's the first full-time black driver, and I mean he's Pat Mahomes black, but he got so much racist stuff. But he got so much racist stuff, man. He kind of turned into an activist almost, man. Just breaking the sport in for a lot of people. There was Danica Patrick for the women. There's been Indian drivers, there's been Native American drivers, Mexican drivers, you name it, right? And so, but Bubba Wallace was the first African American driver, man. So full time, I should say. There's been plenty of African American drivers, just none of them, were full time and stuck around, things like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And he Team Jordan, so he for the culture without question. I'll tell you the next sport that my father fell in love with, man, and this was actually his go-to was drag racing, National High Rod Association, man. And so all he ever talked about was Bob Glidden, man. Bob Glidden, this dude is legendary. So a lot of people in NASCAR they know Richard Petty. You've probably heard the name, the King is what they call him. One of the most dominant NASCAR drivers. So as popular and as successful and as dominant as Richard Petty was, Bob Glidden was that in NHRA, man. And so my dad loved him, and naturally, as you see, that Ford Thunderbird there, man, he had that thing smoking down the track, bro. A quick 315 miles an hour and a quarter mile, bro. Like that, I couldn't get my mind wrapped around the concept of going that fast and that short of space. It gets me uncomfortable thinking about it, man. And so I'll tell you a quick story about my dad drag racing, and then, man, we won't spend too much more time, man. I'm glad my mom got to come on. My mom is actually an executive in what we're doing to move our brand forward with Fanatic Sports Pod. And so it's great that she got a chance to hop on here. A few months ago.
Did you ever tell a story? Did you ever tell your mom a story about how we met and how close we grew up?
You know what? I haven't told her that story yet, bro. Oh my gosh, I hadn't told her. I really want to tell her on air because she's gonna crack up when she hear it. But man, we were that's a fantastic. I'm gonna record that. Bro. We'll have to get on like a Google Meet or something, or we might jump on here and do it and just tell that story, man. It's a good story. But so I'll tell you this quick story about drag racing. So my daddy grew up in the mean streets of Clarendon, Ullum, Rome, etc. Oh, she's back on. I can tell her now. So look. First, I'm gonna tell two stories. I need you to hang in there with me for two stories if you can. Mitra just texted me. I don't know, or she just tried to call. I was trying to text her back. But don't worry about texting her. I'll text her because if you text her, your phone's gonna go out, man. So look, first thing first. I got three stories now. All right. So one story is that my daddy grew up and he loved drag racing, Blue. So with drag racing, like it's street racing, I should say. Like my daddy had a 64 Mustang.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, and it's not there anymore.
What was he driving when you met him?
Oh,
I guarantee you it was a Ford.
Joseph, no, you're not gonna do me like that, are you? Joseph, don't do me like that. That was years ago, and we were courting. So you don't need to tell all my story.
53 years ago, as a matter of fact. My daddy loved to street race. This was a long time ago before
I met him.
Well outside my statutes of limitations, and also before my daddy became saved, and also before my daddy became a preacher, before he met my mama. So I can tell this story with no condemnation. So his two favorite things to do was drink beer, like every American man, and drive fast cars. And he had a nice Mustang that he would run it, man. Oh, so man. Of course this was the 60s, right? So 60s and 70s. So everything was stick shift. You know what I'm saying? And so my daddy would tell the story about how, oh man, I can drive, I can stick shift, I can boom, 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 boom. All right, daddy, you know, your daddy just talking, man. He ain't talking about nothing. So, man, look, first story. In 2002, I got in the car wreck. It wasn't my fault, mother. It wasn't my fault. That lady pulled out on me and I hit her. And so it totaled my sweet Mercury Tempo. And so it was, or no, I'm sorry. Was that the Mustang that I wrecked, Mom? Was that that was Tempo? That was Tempo. So I had a sweet Mercury Tempo. That's a small size sedan that I drove. It was passed down from my brother. And I had a wreck in it. It totaled, and we had to get a new car. And so my brother, who had also had gotten a new car, got a 1998 Ford Mustang, 4.6 liter engine. It had a big old rumble. Oh, it was fantastic.
Oh yes, it was
blue.
red, Joseph. It was
cherry
red.
Cherry red.
And he was in UCA.
Yeah. He said that you would have thought he attended UCA the way he was in Conway. But he had a sweet Ford Mustang 98. And so I wanted a Mustang because my brother had a Mustang. And my mama loves Mustangs. And so we were looking at cars. And so we got to this lot and they had a 1996 5.0 Mustang. So, but I said, Ma, we got to. Ma, come on, please, Ma. But here's the problem. It was a stick shift. So it wasn't an automatic. And my mama, so Ma, you can tell me now. She spared me when I was 17. She wouldn't tell me. But I said, Ma, how come I can't get it? Ma, what was the real reason you wouldn't let me get that stick shift 5.0?
Because she wasn't going to do nothing but tear it up, trying to shift it. You know you couldn't do no 4 shift. You leave that to your mother in that Chevrolet truck. See, I learned, and I can drive a 4-shift Chevrolet truck, 1969 Chevrolet truck.
Big living. So my mom was like, she told me about 3 years ago. She was like, I wouldn't to let you burn that clutch out. So look, man. So we're sitting in the car, and my dad used to tell the story. Man, he tells the story all the time. He say when he would have his car, he would let somebody sit in the passenger seat. He would put a $20 bill on the dash, a $20 bill in 1968. So I take a $20 bill in 2025. So imagine what it was worth then. He put a $20 bill on the dash. And my daddy would say, if you can grab it, you can have it. So, man, look, we got in the car, and so we're driving, and so he just wanted to test drive at that point. I can't drive a stick that well, and so he just wanted to test drive and see what it feels like. Man, we get this thing blue. He turned the motor on. I mean, it's ground, and so we take it for a little spin. We get on we get a little space in North Little Rock where he can get in and he can stick. But you can just feel the way he was driving it. And it was a 65-year-old man driving like he was 25 still. He was boom, boom, boom. And so then I said, all right, Dad, I had $10. Thank you, Heritage Publishing, for the check. Shout out to the telemarketing whores. So I put it on the dash. I said, Dad, I got this. So man, look, he said, all right. $10 bill on the dash. We drive. Every time I went, I just felt myself yanking back, man. The way he was working it, man, like he was just keeping the stick the whole time. And so that leads me to my second story, my last story about my dad and drag racing, bro. So one time we were in, I think we
Pine Bluff.
No, this wasn't Pine Bluff.
Joseph, you got to tell that story now. Don't leave that out. You got to tell it now. In Pine Bluff, and Andre.
I may have another story, but we got to save that one. I don't want to tell all of that one yet, just in case Pastor watching. All right, so look, so we were actually right. So we were in Atlanta, ironically, and so we were in the Atlanta Mall. That's where we were. And so me and my brother were in Atlanta again. Man, look, they talk all this mess about how he was such a great driver. And then by this time, I had the story I just told you had already occurred when the story I'm about to tell you happened. So me and Andre are walking in the mall, and we see this guy. I don't know what made us talk to him or him talk to us, but we see each other. We decide to speak. We say hi. We have conversations. Come to find out, this man is from Stuttgart, all the way out in Atlanta, Georgia. This man is from Stuttgart. And so I said, oh yeah, my daddy's name is Horace Mitchell. Horace Mitchell? Horace Mitchell, that's your daddy, Horace Mitchell? Yes, sir. And so he said, man, first thing he said, man, that nigga sure could drive a car. I said, no, ain't no way this man that paid you to say this all the way out there. And he said, no. And so then, sure enough, he tells me the story I just told y'all about how my dad could drive a stick.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to this racing thing, man, and look, this was my daddy grew up in the 50s. It's well documented, what black people have gone through, the struggle. I just told you that in NASCAR, the first full-time black driver came to the circuit. When did Bubba Wallace come? 5 years ago?
Yeah, about 5 years ago.
Bro, when we talking about, and NASCAR been around 75 years almost, right? So, the sport definitely didn't integrate properly and give people opportunities that you would think that they should get. And I wonder what it would have been like if my daddy would have had that opportunity to get in and try it. But either way, man, just so dope to kind of see some of the things that my father did, especially because you think about it. And look, we filled up 47 minutes just talking, man. And you would think for a man who didn't care much for sports that he would that we could have a sports podcast about him. So man, as we wrap it up, man, I want to say thank you to my father. You taught me everything, dog. You taught me everything. You made me a better man, and my goal has been and always will be to be half as good a man as you are and have been. But what was interesting, as I've gotten older, I used to spend a lot of time wanting to make my father proud. And I believe I've done that already. I do.
You think so?
Yeah, he certainly said so. But what I want him to know now, and I know he can hear me, is that I'm proud of you. When I was young, I didn't get to meet my father till he was 49. And I didn't really get to know him until he was 55, 56. And by that time, he had a heart attack and retired. And, a lot that he had already been through.
Yeah.
He was at a part of life that I am yet to reach. And I pray to God that I get there, and I pray to God that I look as good as him doing it when I get there. But I used to be, you know how kids are that mean to you, Blue. They say things that try to hurt your feelings, etc. And that was a target. Was talking about my dad because he was older. He's the age of most people's grandparents. But I can tell you, I'm proud of my father, man. Hey, Boo. Is that Boo? Oh, hey, Boo. Anyway, I'm proud of my father, man. I'm excited for the next chapter in my life, but I'm thankful for my father. I'm thankful for the chance to get to have met him and to learn from him and to have lived in his shadow and his greatness. And I'm thankful for the servant he's been and everything that he still continues to teach me even now. So one last thing before I go, Speaking of,
Yeah, you
man,
gotta tell, you gotta tell your mama the story, man.
yeah. So I'll say this last thing about my father, and then we'll cut off the waterworks and move on. We got some other episodes coming up later this week. Really excited. As I shouted out my man Benjamin Rodriguez of NFL Playmakers is going to be joining us this week. Winners House podcast that will be joining us this weekend, and several others, man. So like super excited about the things we're doing with the Fanatic Sports podcast and how we're going to branch out going forward. Got to spend a. I'm not the only one shedding tears tonight, man. My dad's still with me, and I'm thankful for that. Got to send a shout out to Arkadelphia. The whole town. I know the whole town is aching right now for my man Tim Nelson, man. Young man that was very, very near and dear to the hearts of those the Arkadelphia Badgers, to the families that are involved and the families that are affected. Our heart sincere condolences go out to them. We're praying for those families. Tim Nelson was only 44, man. He was a good, upstanding member and an exemplary member of Alpha Phi Alpha of the Henderson State, and it's amazing to think, and it's crazy. From what I understand, is that his ailments were the same that my father survived, and praying for all of his daughter and his family and everybody involved, man. It's just amazing, man. That the life comes at you so fast, and you just gotta enjoy every moment you get, because you don't know when the next one's gonna be your last one. So definitely a shout out to them. Shout out to Arkadelphia. Shout out to the Badgers, to Ouachita Baptist, where I played ball, Henderson State, where I pledged. I'm deep inside that Arkadelphia family, man. So shout out, salute to y'all, man. Praying for Tim and all of his family, man. I definitely hope the God wrap their arms around y'all as well. But we'll end on a happy note, because these are happy tears, man. So Blue, Mom, that is Byron Johnson is from Jacksonville, Arkansas. So here's an interesting story, Mom. Now, Blue, you just turned what, 46, 45, 46?
48.
48. Okay.
48.
So all right. So Mom, Blue is right along with, I think he graduated a year or two before AJ. You remember AJ? Andre's favorite.
Oh, that's right.
Andre's best friend.
Yes,
So,
Joseph.
Yeah, so he graduated like a year or two before AJ Howard, right along with AJ Howard. So this is the craziest thing. Me and Blue are best friends. Blue grew up. Now, where you grow up in Jacksonville? Tell me.
Oh, off Graham Road on the Old Court.
Yeah. So think about
Oh,
this.
Graham Road. Yes.
Now, he grew up where I rode my bicycle to. Right. That's how close we were growing up. But ironically, we didn't meet each other. It took us 150 miles and a 2.5 hour drive to Fayetteville to get to know each other.
That's good, Joseph.
So what was it the when you started doing security, or was it when we started? We probably met at a rap show or something, huh?
No, we was I was trying to get in the club one night and it wasn't really jumping. It's like, man, ain't nothing going on in there. And we was sitting out there talking. And I always ask people where they from or what the high school. He said Parkview. So okay, so you from the Rock. So when he said Parkview, I was like, are you from John Barrow? It's like, no, man, I actually live in Jacksonville. I said, Jacksonville? He's like, yeah. I said, whereabouts? He said, what up, Lawrenceville? I said, by the Boys Club. He's like, yeah. I grew up like right down the street from there.
Mom, we could have threw a rock and hit each other if we had been paying attention.
Here's the even best thing about it. Like him and my little brother the same age. They're born the same month. And he and my mom's birthday the same day.
I'll say.
March 4th for both of us, Mom. But yeah.
All right, Joseph. All right, Joseph.
I know it's getting past your bedtime because it's almost 9. If we stay too long, in about 7 minutes, Blue, my
I'll
mom will
start
start laughing
giggling.
for no reason. But look, I appreciate y'all joining me, man.
I
Look,
appreciate meeting you, Mr. Blue. I sure do.
Yes,
We'll
ma'am.
talk later.
Yes, ma'am.
All
You
right.
too.
Over
Yes,
and
ma'am.
out, Joseph.
God bless y'all.
So
God bless you too.
I appreciate everyone letting me cry on camera and blubber.
I know that's right, Joseph.
I want to give a shout out to my dad, and so this was the perfect opportunity, and I appreciate
Yes,
it.
it was, Joseph. We got to go, Joseph. We
Okay,
got to go.
Mom,
You got three minutes.
let me
I'm going to do like Toastmasters. I'm going to put you a green card out there. And then after that, you get the red one. You're going to miss your speech because you're going over, Joseph.
as I always
You really wrap it up like.
Ain't that the
Wrap it up
truth?
like.
Yeah, come on, Joseph. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Come on. Come on. You can talk to me and Mitri. Come talk to me and Mitri. Bye, Blue. Thank you. It was so good to meet you. Joseph, we'll see you later. Just get off the screen, all right? We can Facebook. Come on.
Thank y'all for
All
watching.
right, Joseph. I don't know about you, but I'm getting ready to
All
leave.
right.
It's a button.
Oh.